Welcome back. A team of 3 union ministers will hold a meeting with farmer leaders to discuss their demands today, including the law guaranteeing minimum support price. This will be the third round of talks between the two sides. Previous 2 rounds on February 8 and 12 remained inconclusive. Farmer leaders have said, though, that they will not make any fresh attempt to move towards the national capital, at least till this meeting is held, asserting that they will decide their next course of action on the basis of the centre's proposals. But meanwhile, what has happened is that one of the prominent leaders spearheading this protest, his video has gone viral. It has also been tweeted by government advisor Kanchan Gupta, Jagjit Singh Daliwal's video, which talks more about bringing Modi graph down than any farmer demands. So what is this video? Daliwal is talking about how Modi's graph has shot up due to Ram Mandir, and he says that we have to reduce that graph. The window of opportunity is very small, says the farm leader, and we have to do just that. We have to ensure that Modi's popularity comes down. I'm going to play that snippet in just a bit. And this is what government advisor Kanchan Gupta said while tweeting this video. He said, and I quote, "When protesters take recourse to what Balasaheb Ambedkar called the, quote, grammar of anarchy, the real purpose is never the stated purpose." Clearly, many in the government and outside are raising questions on whether this stir has been particularly politically motivated, including its timing. First up, listen in to that Daliwal video.
मोदी ਦਾ ਗ੍ਰਾਫ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੰਦਰ ਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਚੜ ਗਿਆ। ਉਹ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਉਹ ਇਹਦਾ ਗ੍ਰਾਫ ਡਾਊਨ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ? ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਰੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਿਆਰੀਆਂ ਕਰਾਉਂਦਾ ਫਿਰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਰੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੌਕਾ ਬੜਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਹੈ, ਗ੍ਰਾਫ ਉਹਦਾ ਬੜਾ ਉੱਚਾ ਚੜਿਆ। ਦਿਨ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਥੋੜੇ ਆ, ਕੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੇ ਥੋੜੇ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗ੍ਰਾਫ ਇਹਦਾ ਡਾਊਨ ਕਰ ਲਾਂਗੇ? ਮੋਦੀ ਦਾ ਗ੍ਰਾਫ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੰਦਰ ਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਚੜ ਗਿਆ। ਉਹ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਉਹ ਇਹਦਾ ਗ੍ਰਾਫ ਡਾਊਨ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ? ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਰੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਿਆਰੀਆਂ ਕਰਾਉਂਦਾ ਫਿਰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਬਹੁਤ ਵਾਰੀ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਮੌਕਾ ਬੜਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਹੈ, ਗ੍ਰਾਫ ਉਹਦਾ ਬੜਾ ਉੱਚਾ ਚੜਿਆ। ਦਿਨ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਥੋੜੇ ਆ, ਕੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨੇ ਥੋੜੇ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗ੍ਰਾਫ ਇਹਦਾ ਡਾਊਨ ਕਰ ਲਾਂਗੇ?
Let's go across to our guest. Satya Muley is lawyer, Ikram Singh Sandhu from the Congress party, Kiran Kumar Vissa is member, Samyukt Kisan Morcha, Yogendra Kapoor is an agricultural economist. I do thank you all for your time. Vissa ji, let me begin with you. Ye jis tarah ka bayan aaya hai, how is the public supposed to take it? And why will the public not doubt the intentions of the farm leaders, this time around at least?
See, the farmers have been making consistent demand for an MSP guarantee law and implementation of the Nomination Commission report. These are the unified demands of farmers' organizations across the country, including the Bharatiya Kisan Sangh, which is affiliated with RSS. So therefore, I think what we should be debating is what the farmers want and what the government is going to do or not going to do about it. Because this is a very crucial issue for the farmers. And
I get your point, and we've been debating it for the last 2-3 days, but we cannot also in good conscience ignore if one of the main faces or one of the main sections of the farm unions, their leader comes out and says, we've got very few days, we need to bring down Modi's popularity graph. That statement has to be explained.
See, I don't have anything to comment about, some video clip which has been taken. We don't know what context that comment was made.
What could be the context?
To whom it was made. No, it was not. We don't know what context it was made. And we have seen so many instances in the past few years where one small clip which totally puts things out of context is taken, and then that is made the center of the discussion. I really think that the national media should be discussing about the farmers' demands, whether the demand is legitimate or not.
We've discussed that. We've discussed that. I will try and give you an opportunity to speak on that also, but I don't think in the meantime we can brush under the carpets some of the questions that arise out of these protests. Similarly, it happened last time around. There were grave concerns that emerged because of the activities that were going on, whether by all or some, under the garb of these protests. Actually, several of those videos are doing the rounds even today. But as you said, we have to be very careful of what we pick up. This is a very prominent farm leader whose statement I am running. It's not one sentence. Actually, the context you can figure out because it's a good 20-second statement that I have played out. And
No, no,
If
20 seconds cannot
if
give
the
the
farm
context, madam. I'm
if the
very
farm
sorry.
leaders are not able to explain what they're saying here, then naturally a doubt will arise in the public's mind, is all I'm saying. Why should the public not be suspicious?
No, I'm saying that everybody in the country has political discussions in their drawing rooms, on the street corner. You go to any street corner in any village, people have political discussions about, the parties which are in power, parties which are not in power, and so on. And that is not any statement that he has made to the media or in any context or in a public speech
Actually,
or
this is a
anything.
media
I don't know
statement.
what conversation he is having.
No, this
I
is
don't know who he
not.
is talking
This one
to,
second.
and
This
you
is
just somehow
not.
take.
This is
And
not a drawing
this is
room
a,
conversation that he is having. You
no,
can
this
see
is
in the video
no, he's
that
on the
this is.
street, so obviously he will be having conversation on the streets.
Yes,
So
but
I'm
you
just
can
saying
see that
that.
there are actually multiple cameras in front of him. This is almost a mini press conference that was actually going on. There are multiple cameras
No,
in
no,
front of him. This is not a
I'm
private
sorry, if
discussion
it's a press conference,
he's having with somebody.
I'm sorry, if it's a press conference, we'll have definitely a much better video than that. That is a video which is shot on
I can see
on a
a
mobile
professional
phone from
camera
somebody who is
in
not
that
talking to.
video. But in any case, there are lots of people around. They're standing behind the leader. He's addressing a certain set of people in front of him. It doesn't look like it's a casual discussion going on in somebody's drawing room, just discussing the politics of the day. But
No,
Vikram
I'm
Singh
saying
Sandhu, one second, sir.
every street
Vikram
corner in the
Singh.
villages.
No,
People are having political discussions. I'm
yeah, this
saying
is not
that should
happening
not
in
be
the village.
point of the national.
Mr. Daliwal is part
Yes.
of the protest. He's very much on the borders. This is happening there. It's not happening in his drawing room, is what I'm saying. I don't have to imagine it. I can see it. Ikram Singh Sandhu, is this all politically motivated? Some have questioned the timing. Some are saying, why is it about Modi's popularity at all? Why is it about how few days are left for the elections at all?
Good evening to all. Shivani ji, I hold no brief for Mr. Dhaliwal. Neither me nor my party. We only hold a brief for the farmers of the country. But having said that, as an ordinary citizen, I say what he said today, there's nothing wrong in it. I'll take your memory back to 2011 when the India Against Corruption agitation was happening. A lot of non-political people at that time, namely General V.K. Singh, Kiran Bedi, on stage said that the only way things can move forward in India is if the UPA government is voted out. I don't think so. Your channel ever carried a program at that time.
But that movement was against corruption under the UPA government. This movement is not against the government.
No way. If the people sitting in power do not hear what the normal citizens are saying, the normal citizens of this country are given the right by our constitution to fight against our rulers on the street and then via the ballot. So what he is saying is that if this person who is in this power today doesn't understand what our issues are, what the solutions for that are, then it is right on him. It is his dharma to fight against him. It is his dharma to bring down his popularity.
But he's not saying that. Are you understanding the point I'm making?
Saying that he's saying that
he's not saying our demands are not being met, therefore we must agitate against this government. He's saying because of Ram Mandir, Modi's graph is high. We've got limited number of days to bring that graph down. I've been talking to people about this. He's not talking about the demands.
Absolutely right, Shivaniji. That is what I always say, that we have a prime minister of good times. We have a prime minister who is always there for inaugurations, always there for photo ops. But Manipur is burning for 9 months. He doesn't have the time to go there. Farmers have an issue. Today he is smiling and getting clicked in Qatar, but there's no statement from him on this farmer unrest. You say this person works for 18 hours. In the 18 hours, he could not even find 30 seconds to say, like, look, you are my brothers, you are farmers. I'll come back by today evening and we'll thrash this out. No, he is the prime minister of only good times. So like the king of good times.
Ikramji, your political opposition to Narendra Modi aside, I don't want to question that. You're a political party. You will, of course, question the political power of the day. But you are deviating from what I'm questioning today. Why is it that the farmer leader spearheading, one of the farmer leaders spearheading this movement, should be talking about how he needs to bring down Modi's popularity? Is that what their aim is a question that naturally comes to mind. Satya Muley, is it actually going to do disservice to the farmers' movement if such statements come to light?
Definitely it is going to do disservice because the timing is highly questionable. At the same time, the same group of farmers, although the current gentleman has given a video bite now, which is highly controversial, some years ago, they opposed the 3 farm laws. We cannot forget that. The three farm laws were for their own good. At that particular point of time, they could not come with any justifiable reasoning for the opposition. The farm laws were supposed to double the price that the farmers were earning, apart from the other goods that were envisaged to be done. Having said this, currently, apart from timing, I see that our colleague Mr. Ikram is only talking about Mr. Modi. At the same time, the SKM member who is the panelist today, he could not justify as to why this particular gentleman who is belonging to his tribe is making this kind of statement. It is only talking about Modi, Modi, and Modi. If we are to talk about farmers, then there was enough time to talk about farmers and their demands. And of course, this government has done a lot for farmers. There is absolutely a long list to mention about what this particular government has done. But with so little time for the upcoming elections, definitely one can conclude that this particular protest is all about politics and not about
Okay. In fact, some people have pointed out that actually this government can no longer enact a law. So is it fair for the farmers' stir to be happening right now? Instead, they could have entered negotiations, maybe hoped that whoever comes to power next is impressed upon to fulfill their demands, because only the next government can, the current government cannot anymore. But I want to go across to Yogendra Kapoor as well. Yogendra Kapoor, this is a sentiment that many farmer organizations that haven't been part of either this or previous farm protests have expressed. They may have similar concerns to what some of these farm unions are fighting for, but they feel these protests have, one, become particularly focused about the concerns of rich farmers from Punjab and Haryana, ignoring others, and secondly, they've been politically hijacked. What's your view?
Shivani, one thing I would like to definitely admit is that the timing of the protest may be suspicious, but if one looks into the cause, I mean, this government has definitely, I would say, made steps to work in progress, but then the point is that the solution hasn't come forward. What I am trying to say is that if we look at the position since independence of our economy and break it down to agriculture, services, and the industry, we will see that it is not the industry people or the services people who are engaged in on the roads. Why is it that it is only the farmers who are back on the roads again and again? So, which definitely also suggests that if we look at the income parity part, we will see that the rich class or the middle class has grown in geometric progression over the period of time since independence. But the income of the farmers hasn't been able to increase in the manner it should have. So, my way of looking at it is that it is the cause which is more important and which needs to be addressed.
But is this the right way to do so, or do you think there will be less public support to this given the kind of statements that are being made? That there needs to be some sensitivity and some care has to be taken in how you lead these protests.
Absolutely. I will absolutely accept the fact that this is not the way and manner in which the protest should be carried on, because it's only going to create a wrong precedent. And the only way to address problems is through negotiations. I mean, we have negotiations at the diplomatic level, howsoever number of times the talks may fail. The point is that ultimately one has to accept that it's a work in progress in itself. So the point is one should not lose patience as such and have faith and trust in the government, and especially a government which has been able to take major decisions, which we have all accepted that they have been able to do. So
we have been discussing the issue of the feasibility of the MSP law, MSP in itself, plus other facets, and I will, of course, continue to debate that soon. But Mr. Visa, I want to give you one more opportunity. Today, we are indeed focusing on how some of these protests in the past and even currently seem to be going awry or seem to be going hyper-political, and that is raising suspicion over their intent and who is controlling or stringing them. Mr. Visa, I don't know if you can hear me. If you can, I'll put your audio up. Your video seems to be gone. But if you can hear me, please answer. Okay, it seems like we have lost him. Mr. Sandhu, you want to take that question? Politics aside, there shouldn't be a doubt in the minds of the public of where the farmers are coming from.
Absolutely, Shivani ji. The farmers want their rights. You know, if we want to say that there are at present 35,000 farmers on the border between Haryana and Punjab, there will be even BJP supporters in that. I do not say that all of them will be anti-BJP. That's a different thing. We can discuss it some other time. They want their rights. They want their MSP. They want their farm loans to be waived off. They want their other demands to be met. But yes, we live in a country which we should be proud of is a very political country. And the constitution of a country gives us that right. If I don't like somebody, I can openly say that he is the person who will not give me the rights. I am against him and I'll fight with him on the streets and
But
on the
Mr.
ballot
Sandhu,
box
like
and
I
I'll
said,
defeat
had
him.
he said that, I don't think we would have raised a question
No,
on
no,
that.
he
It's
meant
his
that. He
political
meant
right.
that.
It's his right
He
as a citizen of the country to agitate against any kind of party in power. But that is not what seems to be happening here.
No, Shivani ji, what he actually meant, and it is,
What he actually meant, you and I, you're doing guesswork.
No, absolutely. So I'm being very clear about it. Deduction says that here is this man, we have to vote him out. We have just 3 months
So
left.
say that.
Let us
Why
do-
don't they say that openly?
You call him on your channel and you question him. No, I can't speak for him. You just call this gentleman.
Then they should
invite
make
him.
that clarion call clearly, and they did sometime during the farm agitation's original, and people, reported
See, we
on
have
that
to-
as well.
Yeah, we have to understand. We have to understand that 250 farm organizations which are part of that protest.
Yeah, but not everyone
one-
thinks alike.
Everybody thinks alike as far as the rights of the farmers are concerned. Everybody might have different political affiliation, which might be very different, but our constitution and our system gives them that right to have it, and we should not actually be
Yes,
deriding
but
it. We should
when you are
actually be
leading an agitation,
celebrating it.
you've got to reveal your political affiliations and make
No,
it clear. Otherwise, doubts
I'll
will
go back
arise
to it.
of your
Nobody-
intention, which is exactly what is happening when such videos come to
Shivani ji,
light.
I respect you immensely, but here I disagree.
Okay, fair
In
enough. We can agree to
2011,
disagree.
Nobody came out with their affiliations. General VK Singh used to get onto the stage, deride the Congress government. 2 months down the line,
Okay.
he was their candidate from Ghaziabad, and he has
But
been
that
in
was
Mr.
a
Modi's
movement. No,
cabinet
I don't
ever
think the
since.
two
Have
movements
you
can
ever
be compared.
questioned-
And if
have
you're
you ever
comparing the two
questioned General
movements,
VK
then you're
Singh
very
on his
clearly
political
saying that this is a
affiliations
political
in
movement.
2011?
India against
Everything-
corruption was absolutely targeting the government of the day because of corruption of the government of the day. This movement is a farm agitation. If you're saying they're alike, then they are both political movements. And we have to agree on that at least. But I've run out of time. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. My colleague Rahul Shivshankar is joining you next.